Hey, my name's Boronski. You're watching my YouTube channel where I'm sitting down with recognizable faces in entertainment. Today's guest, she's made quite an impact in the entertainment industry and in all aspects, singing, acting, social media. At just 15 years old, she is Sicily Rose. First of all, thanks for taking some time to do this interview, and how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's so exciting to finally meet you.
It's exciting to meet you as well. I gotta ask you first, because I saw last night you were at the Snake Eyes movie premiere. What was that like?
It was an amazing experience. The lead actor was actually there, and he got up in front before the movie was on and talked to us, and he said that they actually had filmed the movie before even quarantine. So it has just been sitting on the shelves. And so it was a really cool experience, and we got like posters and stuff, and it was a really good movie.
For people that aren't in LA, they might not know what those like movie, big time Hollywood premieres are like. So when you're invited as like a talent there, what is the procedure like at those premieres?
Because the Chinese theater is on Hollywood Boulevard, there was a lot of fans there. And so you have to show them like your confirmation, and you're like, yep, I'm supposed to get in. And then they give you an envelope with your ticket in it, and then you go and take pictures, and then you just walk around for a minute and then go and get like your snacks and your drink if you want one, and then you just go and sit, and the theater is beautiful. Like, this was my first time ever going, and it's just a beautiful theater.
Super awesome. Yeah, I've been there once before. It's a really nice place, so that's really cool. Have you been to other like premieres? I know you said that's your first time at the Chinese theater, but have you been to other premieres throughout your time in LA, and any other memorable ones that stand out?
I feel like this one was definitely the biggest one though, just because the lead actor was there, and like we didn't know he was going to be there because it was for, I believe, Comic-Con. And so they got like the first scoop of the movie, and so it was really cool that he was there. Like, everyone was freaking out. So that was definitely the coolest experience.
I mentioned kind of the top, you're doing so many different things. You're doing singing, you're acting, you're obviously big on social media. I'm just curious for you, how do you divide your time with all the different passions that you have? How do you delegate, I want to spend time on this versus this each day, or maybe if there's certain periods where it's like one more than the other? How do you divide that time?
Well, for influencing, I do that every single day, and I really like to keep my followers up to like what I'm actually doing in my life. And so I like to post like on TikTok, I post 3 times a day. On Insta, I post once, and then like I always have stories no matter what, so that people like, they feel like they're one, like we're friends, and like we talk all the time. And I just love like the connection between like the stories. And then I also have a group chat with all my fans on an app called IRL, and so I can talk to my fans like whenever I want, and like I try to do that as much as I can, just so that like they feel included and stuff like that. Singing, I just was actually in a songwriting camp for 3 days, and so that was an amazing experience. But I try to go to the studio once or twice a week. Just depends on how busy my schedule actually is.
Like I said, you got a lot going on, so like I kind of understand you trying to, balance all that and figure out the right schedule for you. I'm kind of curious to go back to the social media point though. If I look at your numbers right now, 469K on TikTok, 498K on Instagram, 112K on YouTube. That is a lot of people seeing your content, your work. So for you personally, what have you found as maybe the principles that you go by to find consistent social media growth that has worked for you in your career?
I would say like consistency, number one. Like, if you want to keep growing, you're going to want to keep posting, just because like if you stop posting, then people will start unfollowing, and they won't feel like, like they won't be pulled in by what you're doing anymore, because you're not like posting about it. And so like if I post 3 TikToks a day, it's like, oh, you get to TikTok this time and that time and that time. And it's just like, I'm trying to explain this like from a fan's point of view. They like the fact that you're posting, and I love posting. Like, it is my biggest thing. Like, I would post like 5 times a day if I could. Like, literally, I love doing it, and TikTok is so much fun. And like, they just like to see like if you do a new dance, then they're gonna want to do the dance because they look up to you, I guess you could say. Like, they want to be just like you, because a lot of my fans are like preteens and that kind of stuff. And so like when they see me post, they like to comment and they're like, oh, hi, like see me. And I'm just like, I would try to get back to them as much as I can, but like it is such an amazing feeling knowing that like people do look up to you.
I can tell just by the way you answered that, like the way you think about it, I think it's smart that you kind of can picture what your fans look like, what your demographic is, and think from their perspective, which in terms, benefits how you create your content. Props to you on that. You're in LA, but you haven't been living in LA full time for too long. Still semi new to you, I guess. So where were you in terms of, I guess, success in your career when you felt that moving to LA would be like that game-changing move to really boost you?
So I'm originally from a small town in Nevada called Elko. It's very small, like itty bitty. I was constantly growing there and I had like 150 to 130K when I first moved out to LA, which was last September. And so I'm very new to LA, but I love it here. Back home, it was kind of crazy because like no one else was doing influencing and like everyone thought it was like so crazy that I was doing it. But like I kept grinding, and like being able to move out to LA has always been a dream of mine. Ever since I was little, I can remember my mom telling me like, oh, you were 6 years old saying that you wanted to move to LA, and like, she's like, you don't know what LA is. And I'm just like, my dreams are here. And so many of my dreams have come true being able to be here. And so it's just like an amazing feeling that like I've made it this far in such a short amount of time.
You just talked about a little bit those conversations with your mom, wrestling with that decision. And I know you've said in other interviews that like your mom has been like a backbone for a lot of your career decisions and just supporting you throughout that way. So what was that like, kind of getting her to say that yes and really make a big commitment and have you guys move to LA?
Last September, I got an offer for music and I hadn't gotten any previously. And so it was out here in LA. So initially I was just gonna come out here for music and then go back home. But then I started getting brand deals and I started meeting new people and everyone wanted me to stay. And I obviously wanted to stay. My mom was like, I have like an amazing job back home and like all your friends are back home. And I was like, but this will be life-changing. And she was like, you're right. And then we just were like, let's just do it. And it was kind of like a spur in the moment and we just did it and we love it here. And we just are always like moving and having fun no matter what.
Yeah, always got something happening, it seems like, in your life. So, I mean, it seems like it's working out so far. It seems like it's been a good move.
It definitely has. I'm happy we moved here.
I'm curious for you now, okay, now you're in LA full time. I know a lot of your friends, it is the hub for entertainment and a lot of social media creators. So when you have friends that are kind of pursuing the exact same type of stuff as you, the same goals, what is that dynamic like?
Well, if you've interviewed a lot of like my friends, we kind of like, we don't really think about the amount of numbers you have. Like if you want to do content with someone, do content with them. It doesn't matter like if you have 500K and the person you're doing a TikTok with has 5,000 followers or 100K. It doesn't matter to us as long as you're building each other up. Like being in the industry is very hard. Obviously, it's a constant battle with different people and trying to grow more than everyone else. But at the same time, you want to be like very positive towards everyone else, saying, you got this, you're gonna get there. Like no matter what, you don't want to put people down, like ever. We don't get like mad at each other if one of us passes or like anything like that. That is not, a lot of industry people are the same like that, I feel like. It's not about the numbers, it's just about the people.
I mean, that's definitely important, especially as you said, it is a competitive industry. So if you can look at it as, in a positive manner, I think that really helps in the long run for sure. I did want to switch gears a little bit because I know on your social media platforms, you've talked a bit about cyberbullying in the past online, and you even created a widely popular hashtag Just Love. So why has that been important for you to talk about on your platform?
Well, for one, cyberbullying and bullying in general is just not okay whatsoever. Especially cyberbullying, just because like hiding behind a screen and saying all of these things about somebody, number one, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they're feeling about themselves or anything like that. And just a little thing that you say on the internet about that person could destroy that. And that's not okay. You should never put someone down, ever, no matter what. That person could be mean to you, but they could be going through something, so you don't need to be mean back. Like my mom always said growing up, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like if me and my sister are fighting and like she yells at me and I yell back, we're not getting anywhere from that. I made the hashtag Just Love because at the time I was getting cyberbullied and a lot of my friends were getting cyberbullied and I didn't think it was okay. And so I decided to be like, this is not okay. You need to stop doing this. Like, why are you saying that about a 15-year-old? Like, that's not okay. Like, I did nothing to anyone. And neither did any of my friends. So stop talking about us. Stop saying all these terrible things about us. And so I kind of did that as a way to like get out of the situation being cyberbullied. If like some of my fans were getting cyberbullied, just to like tell the cyberbully, like, I'm sorry, but like, I know my worth. And I'm like, you saying that to me doesn't change anything about it. Just love. And like the hashtag Just Love has just gotten so big and it's such a movement now that it's just like an amazing feeling, you know?
Absolutely. I think it's a great lesson to share, you know, for people that whether you don't have a huge platform or not, because like I even know, you know, for creators and people might think, you know, I know you guys get a lot of comments and I used to work directly with creators. So like I know firsthand from their experience, it's like, sometimes people comment on stuff on your guys, think maybe you guys would never see it, but I mean, it's there. It's plus the timeline, so they do see it. So I think just in general, if you're not going to say it to someone's face, you just shouldn't say anything online and hide behind a keyboard. So I think that's a great lesson. I want to wrap it up here. I know you just started doing the GLO show on the GLO-UP Girls TV YouTube channel. It stars yourself, 5 other, you know, very popular social media creators, some that you've seen on this channel before if you've been watching, people like Maddie Filipowicz, Rachel Brockman, McKenna Kelly, Life with Mac. I know you guys had the premiere for it pretty recently, and the first 2 episodes are up already, with more to come. So why should people watch this show?
Everyone should watch this show because it was a lot of fun to film, and I love the girls that are in it. They are all like my closest friends, and like filming this show, it just like, because obviously we had lines and like it's an inspiring show. Like it is a self-love show. It's a show about like being true to yourself, that kind of stuff. And so I feel like for the younger audience, when they watch that show, it'll definitely be uplifting and make them like love themselves more. If you like, you know what I mean. And then the dolls are obviously super cool because they have like PJs, and when you put water on their face, like they get a face of makeup, and it just is like something that the girls will like love. Like I have fans that came to the premiere because it was like a 2-part premiere, and so half of it was like some fans and like all of the people from PR, and then the other half was all of my friends and like all of our influencer friends. And like I have fans that are constantly reaching out and they're like, oh my gosh, I love the dolls. This is such an amazing like movement, and like it's just really cool. And obviously they're fashion dolls, and so they all have a different style to themselves, but they're true to themselves.
Well, again, you can find it on the GLO-UP Girls TV YouTube channel. First 2 episodes are up, more to come soon. So Sicily, Rose, thanks so much for taking the time, and looking forward to seeing how your career continues to grow.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.